Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video, I'm going to be doing an in-depth review, which is something I haven't done in a while because you guys know I'm always on top of the full face first impressions video. Like they're like my videos that I go to, but I just find that they're not necessarily the most accurate reviews. And I noticed that Thomas Halbert actually did like a really in-depth tutorial of, I can't remember what fucking palette it was. It was some kind of palette. And also one of my really good friends, Kat from Beauty News, she does like these videos where she does like one palette for 1 month, and for the entire month she creates looks with that palette and she uses it like 4 or 5 times a week. That's kind of inspired me to do more in-depth videos about products that I've been sent in PR or that I've purchased myself. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do my first one on the ABH Soft Glam Palette. I've had this since it came out, so it came out maybe 3 months ago, 4 months ago. It came out a little, like, it's been a hot minute, let me put it that way. So this was sent to me in PR, but you guys know, like, companies can send me fucking anything, and if it's shit, I'm gonna talk shit about it. So let's go. As you can see, this palette is nothing special, but that is one reason why I really like this palette. Let me do some swatches of these shades, and you guys know that swatches don't really represent the palette in its best light because obviously we don't apply most shadows with our fingers, we apply them with brushes. But anyway, so the first shade we have here is Tempera, and this is beautiful for setting down your eyeshadow base. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that one here. Gorge. She's really pigmented. She does have a little bit of like a sheen to it, but it's not shimmer or glitter. Yeah. The next one we have here is Dusty Rose, and this is such a beautiful cool tone transition color. I'm not really one for cool tones, but I have been kind of liking them recently. So I'm gonna pop that one right here. So I mean, as you can see, it is pretty pigmented. The next one that we have here is Glistening. Now this is a super buttery color, and it's hella pigmented. This is kind of like, if you don't want to go for like the full-on gold foiled shadow, this is like the in-between. This is more of like a satiny champagne gold kind of color, and that is what it looks like there. So it's a little more subtle than some of like the other shades, but I really did like using this, especially just like more of a natural look. Like if you want to just brighten up the inner corner of your eye, or you know, just pop it like on the center of the lid, it worked really well for that. I really liked using it for that reason. The next one we have is Fairy, which is another gold, but this one here is a little bit more green. It is still gold, but it has like a little bit more of that green tint to it, and that is the shade there. Next one we have is Orange Soda, and this is like one of my go-to transition shades. It is so creamy. The mattes obviously are not going to swatch as well as the shimmers just because I don't have as much oil in them, so mattes kind of look shit sometimes, but really nice shade on the eyes. And then we have Burnt Orange, and that is once again a really beautiful warm brown shade. Then up here we have Rose Pink. Now this is a shade that I really liked using. Kind of like it's like in between a mauve and a rose gold. It's right in between the two. So this actually looked really beautiful on top of the lid, or even for like a pop of color like in the inner corner or along the lower lash line. Like yes, this is a shimmer, but I've smudged this color along my lower lash line many a times. And then directly under Rose Pink we have Sienna, and this is a super gorgeous fudgy chocolate brown shade. Once again, a matte shade. And this has probably been one of my most used colors in the entire palette. Like almost every single eyeshadow look that I did had this color in it because it's just a perfect transition color. Okay, so next we have the shade Psaltery, which is super fucking pigmented, as you can see. I'm like running out of arm room here. And as you can see, it is a gorgeous deep brownie bronze shade. Once again, super pigmented. I find, okay, this is the thing. With Rose Pink, Sultry, and Bronze, I'll go into Bronze in a minute, I found that I had to use them underneath a glitter glue. Otherwise, it's just a flaky mess, if I'm being honest. Like, so if you like cut your crease first and then you pop them on, you're good. If you just get like some glitter glue or some eyeshadow base from MAC and you just pop it over like the center of your lid or wherever you want the color to go, and then you pop it on top, it works perfectly fine. But I found that, or even like with a wet brush, they work pretty well. But I found that using it dry, it just flaked and crumbled everywhere, and there wasn't really that much payoff with it, which is really unfortunate. But At the same time, it's a small price to pay because the rest of this palette is fucking bomb. The next shade is Rustic. This is a little bit more of a neutral undertone brown. So I'm like running out of room, sis. Next up, we got Bronze, which is not bronze, it's fucking gold, but all right. And this is probably one of the most gorgeous colors ever. Like, it is so reflective. So yeah, as you can see, super reflective, super gorgeous. And then we have the shade Cypress Umber. Now I'm pretty sure that's already in the Modern Renaissance palette, but whatever. I'm gonna swatch this one up here. So as you can see, it is a really, really gorgeous, like fudgy, dark chocolate brown shade. It's kind of like it's almost like a more neutral eggplant shade. Like if you imagine an eggplant, but less purple, it's this. Next we have the shade Mulberry. Now this is another one of my most used colors because it is just such a gorgeous dark burgundy color. So I'm gonna pop this right next to it. Very pigmented, as you can see, it is a really, really nice color. I did find, however, that Cypress Umber, if you put too much on, at once, it will start to fade into nothing very quickly. So I actually found just going straight in with my blending brush, getting like a smaller blending brush like the MAC 221 brush, dipping into Cypress Umber and then just kind of tapping it over the outer corner, then blending it out. I found that helped make it work a lot better and a lot easier. I don't know why that is, but yeah, I just thought I should point that out. For Mulberry, I didn't have any problems with it. By the way, the kick up of these shades, the mattes especially, not that bad. There's a little bit of kick up, but it's not bad. The shimmers, like these more foiled ones, definitely have kick up because they're pressed so softly, I guess. And then the last shade we have is Noir, which is a straight up black. It looks less black in the camera than it does in real life. But yeah, it's a pretty good black. So they are all of the swatches. So as I clean my hands, I'm just gonna talk to you guys about it. Over the last few months while I've had this palette, I've found that I've been using this palette as my base palette, and then I've been going in with like my individual shadows a little bit more. And I personally really like that because one, if I was to ever travel, I'm not taking around, 4 palettes to make each work, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not taking around 4 palettes to make the 4 palettes work. I can just take around the one, some single eyeshadows, and I'm good to go. Maybe some glitters even. And the truth is, most of you are gonna look at this and be like, Jacob, I already have, well, for most of you anyway, I already have all of these shades in other palettes. Do I need this palette? You probably don't. Honestly, you probably do not need this palette. Maybe if you're in the market for a more neutral palette, just one palette that you can keep with you. You don't have to, worry about making other palettes work with this. You can just bring this on its own and it is what it is. This is the palette for you. I know that at this point there are so many brands coming out with so many different kinds of palettes. Like, I get sent eyeshadow palettes weekly, and this has been one of the palettes that I've just kept on going back to when I'm filming my tutorials. When I'm using those other palettes and I need to make them work, I go back to this to make them work. Be prepared. You do your eyeshadow first, okay? Like, the black actually doesn't have as much fallout as you would probably expect. I actually used it to go over my eyeliner today just to make it a little bit more intense. It was mainly these 3 foiled shades. Bake heavily if that's what you do, or just do your eyes first and your base last. And another thing that I love about this palette is that just by looking at it, you know that you can create some looks with this. Like, okay, you've got those 4, got those 4, you've got those 4, you've got those 4, and then you have these 4 and these extra 2 here. Like, each section of this palette works with each other. Like, it's not a clusterfuck of a palette, and I really, really like that they didn't just throw in like a random teal, like a bright turquoise or a bright yellow or whatever. I really do like that they kept it true to the name, Soft Glam. So I do want to go over some brushes that I do like using with this palette. So to apply the matte shades, I've actually been using these brushes for a hot minute and I freaking love them. These are by the brand Stilazzi. So this is the L216, this is the L217, the more like smaller detail brush. This is actually so good with Cypress Umber to pack in that outer corner. Like, I love this brush so much, honestly. And then I've got this little pencil brush. This is the L220, and honestly, these three brushes is probably all you need for your crease work, your transition colors, your smoky colors, and then like a MAC 239 brush, just like a flat packer brush for your shimmers, for all the other shades. I have used different setting sprays to wet down the eyeshadows to then use them wet. So I found that Urban Decay I found that the Urban Decay All Nighter didn't work as well as something like MAC Fix Plus. MAC Fix Plus worked beautifully because Urban Decay has alcohol in it, MAC Fix Plus doesn't. So because Urban Decay has alcohol in it, it's gonna dry out the product a little bit more. Which means that if the product is applying wet but then drying down, it's gonna crumble that little bit more. Whereas the MAC Fix Plus just sets and stays. I just want to show you guys, because I know I'm going to get questions. Some of the colors in this palette are in the Modern Renaissance. So here is what the two palettes look like. We have Modern Renaissance and then we have Soft Glam. So Burnt Orange is in both shades, Cypress Umber is in both, Tempera is in both, and I think that's pretty much it. So there are 3 shades in the Modern Renaissance as well as the Soft Glam. I actually want to test the black, hold on. So the Soft Glam has a black in it, and so does the Prism palette. I want to see what the difference is of these. So for those who don't know, this is ABH Prism, Swatch Obsidian, which is in the Prism palette. Let's go there. Okay. And then I'm going to take Noir, which is the black in the Soft Glam palette. Okay, so Prism palette looks more black, but the Soft Glam palette, it looks like it blends more. Well, from what I've noticed, it does blend out easier than the Prism palette, but it does look more black in the Prism palette, huh? Let me go over Noir one more time, and then let me go over Obsidian. Yeah, wow, they do look like it looks different. Obsidian is definitely more black, I'll give it that. I guess a dupe for the Soft Glam palette would probably be the Australis Neutralize eyeshadow palette. Hold on, let me put these side by side. So yeah, you can see that they're pretty much, they're very, very similar. If you guys want me to do a side-by-side comparison of these two, be sure to give this video a thumbs up so I know. And yeah, that's pretty much my review. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I guess at the end of it, would I recommend Soft Glam? Hell yes. Would I keep using it? Hell yes. I love it so much. Do you need to run out and grab it if you've got shades that are already similar to it in other palettes? Probably not. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, be sure to hit the notification bell. I did start writing a blog, you guys, as well, so by the time this video goes up, I would have had a few posts already, so I will leave my blog down below, and I might even do like a written review of the Soft Glam palette. Let me know if you guys want to see that. Be sure to click on the next video, which is over my face right now. You might as well click on it, like you got nowhere to be. So just do it. Like, it's a Friday night. Well, when I'm filming this, it's a Friday night, so you might as well click on the next video. Go on, click it. Go on, click it. I double D.